So my story, well, we all have a story, don't we? My story started very unusual. I'm someone who never smoked, always took care of myself, and I literally went from working out 6 days a week, eating healthy and clean for years. I don't drink alcohol, I don't drink coffee. And like most people, you're relishing in the way you feel. And I was feeling so good about myself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you name it. I was on top of the world. 2018 was my year. I was working in television, radio. I've been a broadcast journalist. I was celebrating graduating with my degree. And I was going to take a trip to Miami, which I did. And I was wanting to look my best. So that's why I was working out extra hard. Went from 4 days to 6 days, eating different things to just make myself look and feel my best. With all that being said, 2018 turned out to be a year that I never thought I would experience, because you always hear and know of someone who has cancer, but you never know the magnitude of what they go through. So on November 21st of 2018, having gone through all these different symptoms, not knowing what it was, losing weight, my back in severe pain. But amongst all of that, I was still pushing forward, working out, and doing everything that I wanted to do, living my best life. November 21st, 2018. My doctor called and told me I need to come in. He goes, "It's serious and I need to talk to you." In my mind, I thought I had a bone disease. I thought I had mad arthritis. I knew something was off, but I never thought cancer. I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer as a non-smoker. It spread to my spine, my pelvis, my shoulders. It's concentrated in my bones. I was 94 pounds at the time of my diagnosis. Most people, because it was literally the day before Thanksgiving on November 21st, would think that's no blessing. That's nothing to be thankful for. I gave myself 2 days to wrap my head around it, to hear myself say it. I cried. I called my folks. I called my brother. We all cried. And then I literally called my doctor and I said, I am going to be in for the fight of my life, but I'm going to wrap myself around this, because there is no way someone who works out 6 days a week, has eaten healthy and clean, has never smoked, gets lung cancer for no reason. This is going to be the biggest blessing on the other side. It's going to be a life lesson, but it's going to open up doors of opportunity. I said, I'm literally going to kill my cancer with kindness, and I'm going to love up on it and give it everything it doesn't want, and it's going to give me everything that I've always asked for. It's going to be the biggest blessing in my life. My doctor had never heard anybody talk about cancer this way, and so I took that as an opportunity to share it and let people see a different side of cancer. And I wanted to create change for non-smokers who got lung cancer like myself. And that led me to opening the door to a conversation, a club that no one wants to belong to, but I made it fun. I made it look good. And then I invited people through social media to be a part of my world. I shared everything on social media, my doctor appointments, my scans, my blood work, but I did it with a smile on my face, and I had fun with it. And then the news picked me up and said, we want to do a story on you for your positive outlook on this horrific disease. I started getting phone calls from different medical journals who were writing articles on optimism and how to approach cancer in a different light. I was featured on a number of podcasts. The one thing that this opportunity of going through stage 4 lung cancer as a non-smoker has taught me is that there is a community of people who need the support and love that I had to share, because there are so many people who are facing this disease alone, which I didn't know. Not everybody has a support system like I had. I had friends in the community. I had people who I didn't even know who were rallying behind me because of the things I was sharing on social media. I had my own immediate family, but there are so many individuals who do not have that, but I became that for them. I became their champion and their cheerleader, and until this day, I said, if you need someone to cry with you, I'm here. You need someone to hold your hand, you need someone to listen, I am here. And that's what I use my cancer journey for. It is an opportunity to continue the conversation, to let people know they're not alone. You don't have to look at this as a death sentence. If your time does come, but you put up a fight and you go out with a smile on your face, you feel good about it in a sense, because you're doing something different to give yourself that grace to say, it's okay. It's not always going to be easy. It is hard. Some of the things I learned along the way is that you feel like you have this blanket of security because for years you've worked and you paid into this system for insurance, but it changes. When you have insurance, it's okay if you have a runny nose, a cold, or you might break a bone. When you are diagnosed with a terminal illness, the insurance companies don't see you the same way they do someone who's coming in just to get a regular checkup. The funds, the draining of it financially, the language that they talk to you when they're explaining things, all of that changes because now they're looking at you as someone who's possibly going to expire. And they're all trying to figure out how they're going to recoup this money, how it's going to be paid for. And it's a very different landscape. So I encourage you, like I had to learn the hard way, you got to take people with you. You got to advocate for yourself. You got to ask the hard questions and be willing to accept the answers that come along. And then you have to take responsibility to do the work. And I put in the work because I did not see myself expiring. I saw myself thriving. And it's all about the perspective and the mental mindset. So the one thing I would encourage individuals to do is to take and find that support system, whether it's outside your immediate family, through social media, through groups, through support from the cancer different communities that are out there, Facebook groups. Find your tribe, release that toxic energy, and surround yourself with everything good and positive. When you do go to the doctor, if you need someone to go with you, find that person that can support you. Ask the questions that are uncomfortable. Even if you need to, Google different websites, because there's a wealth of information out there. And there's people there who are put in place to help you, but if you don't know, you don't know. So do your homework, ask the questions, show up for yourself, because it's not just for you you're doing this. There are millions of people who are watching, seeing, and loving what you're doing because they don't have the courage or the voice, but you give them the support and the permission to say, it's not going to be a bad day. It's going to be okay. And with that, I say, I am 5 years and beyond with mine. I still have my port. I still get treatments, but cancer has come into my life and I've embraced it as something special. I've incorporated it into my life. It never hindered me. It never stopped me because mentally, I never gave it the chance. And for you who are just getting a diagnosis, please don't let cancer cripple you, harness you in a way that it takes away the essence of who you are, because you're still a viable commodity and you're here for a reason. And so am I. And I want you to make it look fabulous. So remember, you've got this. Cancer doesn't have you.